Hey guys, it is Mike from Baltimore Rides here, wrapping up. I got to think for a minute. Wednesday, December 13th. It is actually the 14th. My hair is a mess because I've been wearing my hat all night, and I got hat head basically. But you know what? It's the end of the night, and I'm on my way home, and I don't care. But, interesting night tonight, guys. If you were out on the road, you noticed we got a little snow squall, mini storm that kind of flew through for, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. It didn't really drop a lot of snow on the ground. It maybe an inch and a half with some just dustings in a lot of areas. But what it did was it wetted the road enough that, and the temperature was low enough that you got some really slick roads in a lot of different spots, especially side streets and just areas where there wasn't a lot of traffic, and the salt content on the road wasn't really high enough to do any good. A lot of people slipping and sliding. I was fine, but a lot of people were just all over the place, and you got a little bit of surge out of it, a little bit of whatever power, time, whatever the heck Lyft calls it. Just because of the fact that I think there were less riders or drivers on the road due to the weather. So for a little while there, while it was kind of, interesting, I will say, it was pretty whiteout conditions for about 45 minutes. And then it was just flurrying for like another hour or 45 minutes. So, it made driving interesting right around 5:30 to about 7, I would say, when it hit. So, but it also decreased the amount of people that were kind of moving around the city, and the suburbs. I ended up at like 120 by like 11 o'clock, and I'm finishing the night at 160 something. So, and it's 145. So that tells you that, really it dried up pretty quick. Not a lot of people went out after, 9, 10 o'clock because of the weather. So I did quite a bit of Uber Eats today again. Excuse me. Definitely a big thing. Uber Eats is huge in northern Baltimore. Parkland, Towson, that whole area, kind of north of North Ave, honestly. You just a lot of, even if you get closer to the city, there's like Greenmount, Wings and Pizza, tons of places up in Towson. Couple of McDonald's, just a lot of people doing Uber Eats tonight. And I think that's cold and weather related. The cold temperatures and the weather are just driving people in. But also, it's, it's the 13th. So it's, 12 days to Christmas. And I think people are kind of not going out partying and blowing a lot of money at a bar or a club when they know they have Christmas right around the corner. So, be that as it may, it was a little bit of a slower night than I wanted. Nothing going on in Baltimore. I got all the way down into the Inner Harbor. I got a couple rides, but, pretty much nothing going on there. The bars were pretty much wrapping up. And I got a ride all the way out to Randallstown. So, or, like Windsor Mill, Owings Mills, somewhere in that vicinity. So, usually when I get rides that point me towards home, it's fate's way of telling me, go home. And I'm tired. The roads are getting slick. It's about 28 degrees. So, you're going to start to see little patches of black ice. I already noticed a couple. I saw a guy on Broadway in Fells, literally like do a 180. And it was a miracle because it's Broadway with parked cars. He was coming up to a red light that we were at. I was looking in my rearview mirror. And he just was going too fast, and he stomped on the brake, and his ass just slid out from behind him. I don't know how, but he didn't touch a single one of the parked cars or the guy that was in the other lane right in front of him. He just literally slid and stopped right where he was supposed to stop without nudging even so much as another vehicle. So that guy definitely had an angel on his shoulder because he was driving like a meathead. You know, there were roads that were obviously slick. You could just see it on the pavement. And if you didn't slow down, you know, that's what you got. But between ABS brakes and traction control and Mikey knowing what to do in the wintertime, you know, I avoided any unpleasantness myself. Didn't even really slip and slide all that much. Just a couple little spots where the road was slick and I just kind of scooted a little bit, mainly when I was at a stop and I was going to start back up again. You know, just took a second for the wheels to get some traction. But I was fine. You know, I was fine. For a minute there, when the snow was really coming down and I didn't think the thing was going to stop, I was tempted to say, you know what, let's pack it in. But I needed the money, and once I started to see the surge clouds pop up, I was like, okay, this might be able to be fruitful. So there you go. But, you know, an Uber Eats with a 2.0 surge is still going to be like a $10 ride. It's not miles based. That's the tricky thing with Uber Eats, is it's almost like flat fee based on distance. So, you know, you can't drive further, you can't take a longer route, you really can't do any of those things to manipulate the fare. And then on top of that, you know, there's no time differential, so it's really just the distance piece. So you pick up the order, you start the trip, and go from there. And I ended up canceling, I think, 2 tonight. One where I got to this Chinese place downtown, like kind of North Ave-ish, and the kid that was at the counter was just a hot mess. He had no idea what was going on. He was discoordinated and just he was a wreck. I mean, he really should not have been, you know, working. But it looked like it was a family business and probably they had to put him to work. So, you know, why they didn't put him in the kitchen, I don't know, but he was just a hot mess. So I kept asking him where my order was, and he kept just kind of getting confused and more confused, and I basically just said, enough is enough. So I canceled that one, and then, I don't know, I think there was one more, but I don't remember for sure, honestly. And that's that. So, you know, 165-ish is not ideal. But, you know, given the weather, given the cold, I'll take it. And it just means I got to do better tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm yawning my head off. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm creeping home. I have not received the cleanup fee yet for the barf from the other night. But, you know, I imagine it's rolling soon. I called them to try and get a straight answer out of Uber support. You know, and it's, I don't know. It's just like, it's like a monkey shit fight at the zoo. I mean, it's just, they're not the most coordinated people. You can see that, you can just hear in their inflection that they're just reading off a screen. Like they've got scripted cards they read. I kept asking the guy, like, when is it going to happen? And he's like, you will receive an email from the support team letting you know. I said, when? And he goes, you will receive an email from the support. I'm like, oh my God, just stop. So, but now they ask you like a little 2-question survey when you call the support team with Uber. Just yes and no questions. Were you satisfied and did they resolve your problem? And you know what? If I don't get the answers that I'm looking for, and I'm not just saying the answers I want to hear, but just answers in general that are definitive. I say, no, I was not, you know, helped, and, you know, and then I give them a poor survey, because at the end of the day, I don't necessarily need to be pleased. If they give me an answer and it's not what I want to hear, but it's definitive, okay. Like sometimes things don't go your way. But if I can't even get a straight answer out of somebody, and they're supposed to be customer support for the corporation that I'm technically working for, you know, good God. So, you know, that's that. So I'm still waiting on the 150 for the cleanup fee. The guy was able to confirm that it will be 150, but he just wasn't able to say when. And I think that the way he was trying to explain it, it sounds like it has something to do with they're trying to, you know, them charging the passenger's card, but before they do so, I guess they've got to follow up with the person. And you know, I don't know how long that takes, but you know, they're quick to manipulate my money. I don't know why they're quick to manipulate a passenger's. And then I had an Uber Eats from last night that was $4 that they dropped down to $0 because of something to do with a rider complaint, but it doesn't say anything specific. And Uber Eats apparently is not the same customer support team as Uber. All you can do is send them a message. You can't get anybody on the horn. So I've got a bunch of support messages out waiting for resolutions, and you know, welcome to the world of waiting. You know, obviously I'm not driving to Greenbelt or you know, down to the Inner Harbor just to deal with that. I'll let support do its thing. It'll take a day or two, hopefully, and then I'll probably get an answer, you know, sometime soon, I would imagine. So, you know, we'll just call them once a day until we get something, you know, something that tells me what's going on. But other than that, guys, you know, it's the week is moving along. I'm somewhere in the 500s for Uber, and then I've got like $70 with Lyft. So, you know, close to 600, which is about my 200 a night average that I wanted. Tomorrow's really my last late night on the road, because Friday I've got to be off the road by like 4 o'clock. My daughter has dress rehearsal. I've got to watch my son. He's not allowed there. And then Saturday and Sunday are the performance. So not sure how the rest of the week is going to pan out. Thirsty Thursday. It's like a tongue twister. Thirsty Thursday is tomorrow. And that's a huge night, guys. If you're a driver around Baltimore, or really even in the DC area, college kids love to drink on Thursday nights. It's a thing. So find out wherever the college kids that you drive near are and where they like to party, because that area will be crazy. And it doesn't even really get going until about 11 o'clock. They don't start early, they start late, and they go to bar close. So Thursday night, I will definitely be in Towson. You know, I like the northern half of the city. I really do, guys. There's a lot of money to be made there. There's a lot of trips. I didn't even get a chance. I brought a book to read in case it got slow tonight, and I literally didn't even have a chance to look at it. So, you know, that's a good night. If I can jinx myself and I bring something to do in downtime and then I never touch it because there's no downtime, that's a win. Just minimum trips tonight, nothing really long, nothing really substantial. And, you know, that's part of the reason why I'm in the 160s instead of the 200s. But it's okay. We'll make it work. And I'm going to get off here, guys, and get some rest. You guys all have a great night.